Hey guys, so I thought I'd make a bit of a video about one of the books I've been trying to read the past few months. I read it on and off, but it is about the finding of the remains of the Apostle Peter in Rome. So a lot of Protestants online saying, "Oh, there's no evidence that Peter was in Rome." Actually, there is. So in this book, you actually find it talks a lot about the history that we know of from other sources about Peter's tomb. For example, here it shows where the actual tomb itself is under Peter's high altar. It's directly underneath. And here's for Constantine Basilica and Triophon. That was actually mentioned in the early church. It was a small monument, kind of like a big gravestone over Peter's tomb after he died. And we've seen evidence of removal of the bones, including Peter's skull, which was missing, which actually lends credence to the fact that it was Peter's tomb because sorry guys. Yeah, I hope I don't have a cold coming on. But yeah, under Peter's high altar, we know in the Middle Ages his body was exhumed and the skull was removed and put in another shrine in the Lantern Basilica, which is still there. So when I found the headless body, that wasn't much of a shock. And you're probably not going to put someone else's bones in Peter's grave needlessly if you don't think it was already there. There's no reason to put it back there unless you genuinely believe it's Peter's. We also know who was buried under a pagan necropolis. They found the other tombs that were buried there, so it's definitely a cemetery there. They found the remains of the ancient monument that was at the site. And when they dug up the body, they found the remains of a man in his, I think, late 60s, early 70s, roughly, is what they think. We even found evidence of Christian graffiti on the site, actually invoking the Apostle Peter to pray for them. So, yeah, so in fact, they even have an emblem for St. Peter at the early church in Rome. This is what it apparently looked like. So, if you don't know much about Christian history, you know what that is. That's the hero, that's the X and P. For Peter, they would just add these on. Symbolize the Apostle Peter. That was like an early Christian graffiti sign for the Apostle Peter. So think what it looks like. It's like a key. So yeah, so there is actually evidence of the Apostle Peter's tomb. I'm not sure this book is in print anymore. Definitely worth a read through. It talks about how the scholars found early Christian graffiti. They were able to decipher it. They found evidence of people asking the Apostle Peter to pray for this. So there is evidence of early Christian graffiti. It was dated like the 1st century. So anyway, guys, I hope you take a look. If you get a chance to look at this book, do it. Definitely, 1000%. Definitely worth a read. So yeah, this guy, Peter, he did exist. He go to Rome when they found his tomb and everything right where it was supposed to be. And the book goes on to talk about how it cites numerous early church sources talking about the tomb of Peter in Rome prior to the time of Constantine the Great, prior to legalization of Christianity as a site of Christian pilgrimage even there. So yeah, church history, Peter did exist. He did go to Rome. God bless.